Exactly 1 year ago now, I made the impulsive decision to cut nearly all the hair off of my head. In one night, I went from having shaggy, shoulder-length hair to suddenly having a much more masculine, professional-looking haircut. In the past 365 days, my hair has currently grown out to be about half the length it used to be. And in that year, I've gone through quite a few different stylistic changes. And I'm talking the good, the bad, and the ugly. But at this point in time, I feel like I've finally found the perfect hairstyle, at least for the foreseeable future. But before we get into the future, I'd like to talk a bit about my past. Before cutting it, I had had at least shoulder-length hair pretty much as long as I could walk. I think the longest my hair has ever been was during my sophomore year of high school when it went about halfway down my back. But it's also worth mentioning that for almost a decade now, I think since I was like 9 years old, I've been pretty actively questioning my gender identity. I've tossed through a bunch of different labels over the years, but the one I feel most connected to right now is called gender fluid, which basically means sometimes I feel like a guy, sometimes I feel like a girl. More often than not, it's just kind of somewhere in between. This means that I didn't always like having long hair because it made me feel too feminine. And of course you can be a guy that has long hair, but that just didn't feel like me. There were way too many times where the hair on my head just made me feel insanely dysphoric. Something had to be done. I think it was around April or May of 2024 when I started seriously contemplating cutting my hair short. I was just finishing up my junior year of high school, which means I was taking a ton of finals, I was under a lot of stress, I was super busy, and all these emotions rolled up made me feel really impulsive. So much so that initially I wasn't even gonna cut my hair, I wanted to shave my entire head. And sometimes I do wish I could have gone that route, but I was 16 years old, I was still in high school, and my parents didn't want everybody thinking I'd gone crazy, so that option wasn't really in the cards. So I was thinking alright, I still want to get rid of my hair though, so I guess I can just get a really short haircut. Because you have no idea how much I was starting to loathe just the idea of having hair on my head. Even on my feminine days, I would look in the mirror and just fucking hate myself so much. It was getting to the point where I would rather look like Dr. Phil than actually have hair on my head. It was bad. So, I looked online for a couple days, and eventually I decided on something called the classic square haircut. I got it all chopped off, and I actually recorded the video of that being done, by the way, and I uploaded it to this channel about a year ago, so I'd appreciate it if you checked it out in the description below, because that video did not get as much love as it deserves. But anyways, first few months of having that haircut, I absolutely loved it. It felt so good finally having something shorter and less feminine like I'd wanted for so long. And it was especially good to have during the summer months when the back of your neck gets all sweaty all the time. But afterwards, there raised a new issue. I'm still gender fluid, which means there are still days where I feel like a girl. And on those days, this haircut did not cut it. I went from having overly feminine hair to overly masculine hair. I needed to find some kind of middle ground, something that would work all the time, no matter how I felt like expressing myself. So then I decided I wanted to grow it all back out again. I wasn't really sure what I wanted, and I was kind of scared of trimming it or messing with it too much, so I decided to kind of just let my hair do its thing, and looking back, that was not a great idea. A grown-out square haircut looks so fucking bad. I don't know what I was thinking. I mean, it got to the point where I looked like I had flippy Y2K emo hair, but I was pushing it back out of my face all the time, so it just looked like a comb over, and it was just so ugly. I really should have gotten it taken care of sooner. But eventually I did. In January of this year, I got a brand new haircut that I had never had before. It was still short, still a side part, and not super feminine. I had kind of gone from having guy hair to having butch lesbian hair, so we were getting there. I continued to grow that out little by little. I think I got it trimmed and restyled a little bit a few times. And then one day I randomly wondered what it would look like if I had a middle part. I hadn't had a middle part since 6th grade because so many people in my life have told me that I look better with a side part, but at this point I really didn't give a shit. It was just getting inconvenient. I was really tired of constantly adjusting it and brushing it out of my face, And the more you run your fingers through your hair, the faster it gets greasy. And I wasn't exactly happy about that. I mean, it looked like I just laid down in a vat of oil half the time. So only about 2 months ago now, I got it restyled and trimmed a bit again. And now that's left me with the haircut I have right now. And I absolutely love it. A lot of people have told me that they don't like this haircut as much as my previous one. But honestly, I don't really give a shit. And I feel like it's perfect for my head shape and hair texture. Only took me an entire trip around the sun, but now I think I can confidently say that I've finally found the perfect haircut. It's androgynous, it's low maintenance, and most importantly, it feels like me. Oh God, that's so cheesy. Why did I write that? But in conclusion, if you're watching this because you're thinking of getting a drastic haircut or even just dyeing it for the first time or something, I would wholeheartedly say go for it. You only live once. You can't have the same haircut for your whole life. You gotta change things up now and then. And worst case scenario, you can just wait for it to grow back like I did. And I've had a lot of fun experimenting along the way. I never really imagined myself having this length of hair and actually enjoying it. I'm really glad that I decided to come out of my shell and try something new. Alright, that's about all I've got to say for now. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're new around here or you haven't already, please subscribe and hit the bell. I'm working on a ton of cool new video projects right now that I don't think you would want to miss. If you've gotten a big transformative haircut done before or you plan on doing one soon, please tell me about your story in the comments because I'd love to hear it. Thanks again so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.